You can still book a night in these rooms today. But after hearing these stories, would you? The Congress Plaza Hotel in the Chicago, Illinois had seen it all. Politicians, celebrities, the occasional shady deal behind closed doors, but no one expected a simple phone call to shake the staff to their core. A couple had checked into room 313, a suite overlooking the Chicago skyline. They spent the evening in bed, watching TV, the glow of the city flickering through the curtains. It was perfect. Until 3 a.m., a knock at the door. Not rushed, not frantic. 3 slow knocks. The husband groaned, rubbing his eyes. Who the hell knocks at 3 in the morning? His wife stirred beside him. It's probably drunk guests. Sighing, he rolled out of bed, the carpet soft beneath his feet. He checked the peephole. No one. He hesitated, looked left, then right. The hallway was empty, eerily so. Just as he locked the door, the phone rang. His wife flinched. Who would be calling now? He let it ring twice before picking up. The line was filled with static. Then, barely above a whisper, "Help me, room 441. His breath caught. His wife sat up, watching him. "Who is this?" he asked, gripping the receiver tighter. A shuddering breath, and then silence. The line went dead. His wife stared at him. What did they say? His throat was dry. He licked his lips before answering. They said, "Room 441. She frowned. "That's not even on this floor." He dialed the front desk. "Someone just called our room from 441, he said. They sounded terrified. A long pause. Then the manager's voice, calm. "Sir, room 441 has been vacant for years." He felt his stomach turn. A chill swept through the room. The wife shivered, rubbing her arms. Did you hear that?" He swallowed hard. "Hear what?" Her voice dropped to a whisper. "The knocking. It just started again." They left at sunrise. Some say room 441 still calls for help, but no one's ever there. The Hotel Monte Vista in Flagstaff, Arizona was the kind of place where history lingered in the walls, a mix of old Hollywood glamour and secrets best left forgotten. One night, a solo traveler checked into room 210. He unpacked, took a hot shower, ordered a whiskey from the bar downstairs. The city outside was alive. His room was warm, comfortable. Everything was perfect. Then, at 11:58 p.m., the front desk phone rang. "Can you send up some extra towels?" The receptionist noted the request. Then she checked the system. Room 210 was vacant. No check-in, no occupant. The bellhop frowned when she told him, "Maybe the system's lagging." The receptionist shook her head. "It's up to date." Still, he grabbed a stack of fresh towels and walked to room 210. As he approached, the hallway felt colder. He told himself it was nothing. The building was old. The insulation wasn't great. But then he noticed something else. The air smelled like cigarette smoke. No one was allowed to smoke in the hotel. He knocked. No answer. He knocked again. Harder. Nothing. He hesitated, then slowly turned the handle. The door swung open with a soft creak. The room was empty. No luggage, no clothes, no sign of life. But the bed was freshly made. like someone had just been lying there. His breath caught. He took a step inside. The air felt thick, heavy. Then he noticed the nightstand. The phone was off the hook. He turned toward the door. His instincts screamed at him to leave. Then, a floorboard creaked behind him. He spun around. No one there. But he could feel it. Something in the room was watching him. His hands trembled as he backed toward the hallway. The moment he stepped out, the door slammed shut. No one ever figured out who made the call, and room 210 still remains unoccupied. She had been looking forward to this trip for months, a solo weekend away. No deadlines, no phone calls, no stress. The Driskill Hotel in Austin, Texas was beautiful. High ceilings, crystal chandeliers. It was like stepping into another time. She checked into room 525. The bed was perfectly made, tucked in with crisp white sheets. The bathroom smelled of fresh linen. For the first time in weeks, she felt relaxed, until the knocking started. Soft at first, 3 light taps against the wood. She frowned. Room service? She hadn't ordered anything. She hesitated, then walked to the door, pressing her ear against it. Silence. She peeked through the peephole. Nothing. A hollow feeling settled in her stomach as she stepped back toward the bed. Then, knock, knock, knock. Louder this time. A cold prickle ran down her spine. She grabbed the phone and dialed the front desk. Someone keeps knocking at my door, but no one's there. A pause, then the receptionist's voice. Calm, too calm. Ma'am, are you sure someone knocked? Her heart pounded. Yes, I knock, knock, knock. Her breath caught in her throat. Slow, rhythmic, almost like it was waiting. She turned back toward the door. Her body went cold. The handle, it was turning. She slammed the deadbolt into place, gripping the phone tighter. The knocking stopped, but the silence, that was worse. The receptionist cleared her throat. Ma'am, we'll send someone up. She didn't sleep that night. The next morning, she left without a word. She never found out who or what stood on the other side of that door. The Queen Anne Hotel in San Francisco, California, was known for its elegance. Tall windows, velvet curtains, a grand fireplace crackling in the lobby. It used to be a finishing school for girls. Now, some say the girls never left. A businessman checked in late one evening, room 410. It had been a long day, meetings, calls. He just wanted sleep. The hotel had a small antique elevator, ornate gold trim, the kind where the doors slide shut like teeth. He stepped inside and pressed lobby. The elevator jerked to life. Then it kept descending, past the lobby, past the lower floors. He frowned. What the hell? There were no buttons for a basement. And yet, when the doors finally opened, he wasn't in the lobby. He was in a dark, unfinished room. Dust covered the floor. A single, flickering light buzzed overhead, and at the far end of the room, a woman in a Victorian dress. She stood still, her posture rigid. She didn't move. She didn't blink. Then, the elevator doors began to close. He slammed the buttons. As the doors inched shut, she took one slow step forward. The doors sealed. He pressed every button frantically. The elevator shot up. When the doors opened again, he was back in the lobby. He ran out of the hotel. He never looked back. It was 4 a.m. when he woke up. Something felt off. The air was thick, like it was pressing against his chest. Then he noticed the door. It was wide open. He sat up, heart pounding. He swore he locked it. Did someone come in? His skin crawled as he slid out of bed, creeping toward the doorway. As he reached for the handle, the door slammed shut, hard. He tried the knob, locked. He yanked, twisted, nothing. A bead of sweat rolled down his temple. Then, a sound, a whisper, too faint to understand. He pressed his ear to the door, a giggle, low, breathless. His pulse thundered in his ears. His hands shook as he banged against the wood. Hello? No answer. He pounded harder. Let me out. 10 minutes passed. Then, suddenly, the door swung open on its own. No one was there. His suitcase was flipped upside down. And on the mirror, a single handprint. Would you sleep in room 502? Some hotels welcome visitors. Others, they never truly let them go. Would you check in, knowing you might never check out? Tell us your scariest hotel experience in the comments. Have you ever seen something you couldn't explain? Subscribe for more eerie mysteries, haunted locations, and chilling true horror stories. Because sometimes the most terrifying places aren't abandoned. They're still open, and they're waiting. A strange thought, isn't it?